as we can hear, the JP is well versed in converting fuel into noise.
Was the Viper engine a very good engine? But it wasn't in a spelling class before, was it?
Well, the early JP3 had only 1,750 pounds of thrust in a 7,800 pound weight aeroplane, so no, it wasn't all that smart.
Two vampires. Type of in its first flight 7
We've got torque to cope with, whereas the jet tries to land a carriage, no noticeable torque, so quite much easier to from the handling perspective, particularly landing.
So here they come in from the left, a very nice three-ship formation, the Jet Provost T5 and the two Vampires. There used to be, of course, one on the Airshow circuit for many years with Planet Aviation. They still own it at North Weald. Very different.
Yes, fairly wobbly little
yes.
affair it was, I think.
It was indeed, not least because they used to operate them off grass runways in the 50s. And I gather that the occasional breakage was not unknown.
And I think it was also retracted pneumatically rather than hydraulically.
Production variant of the Jet Provost was the Mark III, which had a more powerful version, to say how nice it was to fly. The Mark IV ended up in its last RAF, guys, just being used to train air traffic controllers out of Shawbury.
Yes, and we had a pair at Broadie doing forward air controller training as well.
Yes, of course you did, yes. We see here, developed from the outset by the British Aircraft September 1969 and carried on until September 1993, so 25 years ago this month when the turboprop Shorts Tucano took over. The last two operators, numbers 6 and 1, flying training schools respectively at Finningley and Linton-on-Ouse. But behind the Jet Provost as they run in now, as I say, the very beautiful de Havilland Vampire, the RAF's second frontline operational jet.
Originally known as the spider crab, for some reason or other.
Yes, possibly to do with the rather unusual configuration.
Yes, they were very concerned with the early jet engines about frictional losses of thrust in long jet pipes, which is why de Havilland went for this configuration, so they could have a short jet pipe. Of course, in the Meteor, the engines in the wings gave a short jet pipe automatically.
That engine was developed by Frank Halford, de Havilland's engine man, as the Halford H1 before it became a de Havilland product as the Goblet, because de Havilland, of course, developed and built engines as well as airframes.
And of course, it was a pair of H1s that powered the first prototype Meteor.
Yes, indeed, because other power plants were delayed. Interesting method of construction for the Vampire, as we see the pair of them breaking away from the Jet Provost. De Havilland, of course, had a lot of experience of building wooden aircraft. The Mosquito springs most readily to mind. And so the structure of the Vampire mixed wooden metal.
And there was reputedly at least one aircraft in the RAF that was redlined for woodworm. Controls throughout, so you've got no powered controls, but they're quite light. The two-seaters are a little cramped. Originally it didn't have ejection seats, but I think it was the Navy who said they weren't going to take it without ejection seats, and the Air Force eventually followed suit. But with the ejection seats, it's very matey inside the two-seater. The single-seater is an absolute delight. It's a lovely aeroplane. Beautiful view out of it.
And we've got examples of both here. The two-seater is a T-55, which is equivalent to the RAF's T-11. The single-seater is an FB-6 fighter bomber. Both of these are actually ex-Swiss Air Force aircraft, operated in Norway and in RAF markings.
I think that was done specially for this year.
It was indeed, yes. The Norwegian Air Force Historical Squadron had fabulous supporters in the British Airshow circuit. Norway, one of the many overseas countries who bought the Vampire, and they put them into RAF markings. The ones on the 2-seat, which I think is leading the formation, are number 4 Squadron markings. They flew Vampires as part of the British Air Forces of Occupation in Germany post-war, and the single-seater is in number 72 Squadron colours. They flew Vampires from Odium and North Weald, and the Norwegian connection with North Weald is very important to them, because was indeed, and they went to the States.
Yes. Just beating the Americans, who were trying to do it in the opposite direction with F-80s, I think.
Yes, and they met up en route on the way, but we managed to get there first and wowed the crowds at some American air displays.
Indeed.
That one of many firsts the Vampire has to its name. Perhaps the most famous was undertaken by that great naval test pilot, Captain Eric Brown, who made the first landing and takeoff in a jet aircraft on an aircraft carrier with one Vampire on HMS Airshow. The 2-seat Vampire T-11, in many ways the most significant of all RAF Vampire marks. It was the first jet aircraft on which an RAF pilot would gain their wings. It replaced the North American Harbour that we're about to see at the last stage of the flying training school syllabus.
Could carry all the underwing stores of the single-seater, so it could be used as a weapons trainer as well.
Yeah, it's a very effective aeroplane, and while it was just too late to see World War II active service, Vampire certainly put that right in its relation. From East Midlands Airport. It was built in 1970 and went to number 3 flying training school at Leaming for basic pilot training, and later it went to number 6 FTS at Finningley, now Doncaster Sheffield Airport, to train navigators, particularly those destined for fast jets in the low level and air defence roles. And you were saying yesterday, Rod, that influences the configuration of this particular
Yes,
T5.
indeed. The T5s for training, for pilot training purposes, normally didn't have tanks, but they fitted them to this variant, as you can see, for navigator training, obviously to give them greater endurance at low level, for low-level navigation exercises.
Very familiar in their service days, I seem to remember, and they were probably rather overshadowed at Farnborough that year by the Black Arrows with the Hunters.
Yes.
But later on there was the Red Pelicans from the Central Flying School. Number 1 flying training school had the Blades, a name we now know in a different display context. The College of Air Warfare had the Macaws. 3 FTS had the Gemini Pair and the Swords, and the last were the Cranwell Poachers of the RAF College. Vampires touching down, that's the 2-seat T-55, flown by that very experienced Norwegian warbird pilot Rolf Beum. Also flies for the fighter collection here, amongst other operators. And the second one in to land after, that's the single-seat FB6, and it was flown by Jiri Mattila, the chief test pilot for the Finnish Air Force. And in fact, the Finnish Air Force even used the 2-seat Vampire of the Norwegian Air Force Historical Squadron earlier this year as part of their test pilot course, to give trainee test pilots experience of another type that they wouldn't normally sample.